Greetings, one and all, from the White Mountains of Arizona, where autumn is on delay. It's a beautiful, warm day today, and we're going to channel for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. A while back, we did a channeling on money, and we did delve into cryptos a little bit. But today, I want to get even more information. So go check out the money channeling if you haven't already. But that was actually a long time ago. We've learned so much since then. So we kind of want to build on our knowledge here today. As far as cryptos, I'm definitely coming at it from polarity, from the positive polarity. And since I'm going to be asking the questions today, let me explain to you my perspective. I have always had a problem for many years now with the way we do money. They're just numbers on a screen. It can be easily manipulated. It's not backed by anything. It's just fake. It's not real. Of course, I'm old school. You can tell by my personal defense weaponry here. But yeah, it's like anyone could just add a zero or take away a zero for any reason that they like. There's no physical money anymore. Of course, we got cash, but that's not backed by anything. That's fiat currency. So with these cryptos coming out, I'm very skeptical. I have a lot of questions. Where did they come from? Obviously from our controllers of this matrix. So they're giving us a money thing, which means they want to change our money. Why do they want to change our money? Why do they want to take our power away from physical wealth and put it into imaginary things on a screen? Why do they want to do that? That's going to be a question, of course. But yeah, it's just like, I'd rather have gold and silver. Why wouldn't I? I can hold it. I can go to the store and trade it. What if crypto just suddenly goes to zero? Because they said it does. What if power goes out? You just got no money? So yeah, I'm very skeptical of these cryptos, but this channeling is meant to provide balance. So obviously there's light and dark in all things. So we're going to find the light and the dark in these cryptos today, if we can, depending on who Tara is going to connect with here today. We're not exactly sure. My intuition says negative polarity. Well, we'll see what we actually get. But yeah, it's just like, what even are they? It's money from nothing? What is it? I don't understand it. Maybe I need to learn more about it, but I would never invest into something that's not real and tangible, right? I mean, we got land and a well, so you can see where our heads are at. But, you know, I'm sure it appeals to the lower polarity. I'm sure they would love to put their power into some magical thing outside themselves. So that'll be another question, I'm assuming. Boy, it's taking a long time. This must be...
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Who are you connected to?
Kind of a dragon being that says they're called draus.
Is this a 7th dimensional dragon?
Yes.
Do dragons only exist in the 7th dimension? As dragons?
No, it says they can be seen in the 6th and the 7th.
Okay. So is it a neutral polarity?
Yes, but it says it chooses a polarity sometimes. It's not always neutral.
And why has it come to talk to us about cryptocurrencies in the 3D?
Because it said that energy is similar to their energy. So they merely come to speak about their energy, which is the same.
So cryptos have a neutral... All things have a neutral energy, correct?
Yes, but it can also be negative or positive depending on how the pendulum moves.
But when we look at a thing such as cryptocurrency, is it fair to say that it's just a neutral entity and whatever positive or negative polarity we give it is our own?
Yes, exactly like us, we are neutral until we give it the energy of positive or negative.
Okay, I guess my first question is, what is the purpose of these cryptocurrencies in this 3D matrix cube illusion?
To play upon the polarities of the cube itself. For those that work with that particular type of energy in your world, it would be the crypto type currency, the digital type currency. And no matter what your polarity is, you allow yourselves to either be driven into neutrality, into positivity, or into negativity, depending on your mission and depending on your own polarity.
So you're saying that every individual will have a different experience with cryptocurrency depending on their polarity?
Yes, there is always what is shown before your eyes, and then there is what you feel when you actually utilize it yourself.
Okay, but there is a complication here. I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this cryptocurrency came from our 3D, 4D matrix controllers. Therefore, it's been programmed and the intention behind it is negative. And therefore, most people who experience cryptocurrency in this 3D reality will experience a negative version of it. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. It is the same with working with crystals. You can program a crystal. You can program just about anything, just as you can program yourself. So, even though something neutral in nature, programmed to be negative, it is always up to you. Do I allow it to feed upon my own negative polaric nature, or do I utilize it to offer assistance to my positive polarity nature in some way? Or perhaps you are trying to seek a balance and understanding, perhaps finding the light and shadow in it all.
Okay, but who is controlling this crypto? Is it the people or is it the negative polarity, archonic, lower astral beings?
Part of the cube would have you believe that there is one controller or a group of controllers, when in reality, all are the controllers, depending on where the collective consciousness has their mindset. So, although on the television screen, you might say, you might have the reptilians or the arachnids or the mantids or whoever it may be controlling this, and therefore you have no sovereignty in it, but you always have sovereignty. So, although they may claim they are what is behind it, nothing can fully control anything without your consent.
I completely agree with that, and I see exactly what you're saying, but also they're providing us with technology. It's all coming from them, is it not?
Their technology is your technology. It is the technology of what resides outside the cube. They took what they know outside the cube, which you know what exists outside the cube, because we all come from outside of the cube, and taking that knowledge into the cube, creating something in the 3D, saying that they created it when it was everyone's efforts that created it, but they took the credit for it.
But in 3D, where did cryptos come from? Who introduced it?
There was not one race, one being that introduced it. Remember that everything happens at once. The time doesn't exist. So, although, again, one may take credit and say, we created the cryptocurrency, the digital currency, we brought it into this reality for humans to utilize, or whatever beings to perhaps utilize. But in reality, everything created it all at once for various reasons, various learning and understanding. The beings that might say that they are the ones that created it, of course, your reptilians and your mantids might take credit for this. They may say, we are the ones that brought this into existence. And if you were to take away any understanding of your own soul, you might agree with them that yes, they were behind it all. They were the ones that brought it in, but they can bring in nothing that you do not agree to yourself. And so the collective brought it in. If everyone comes into the cube at one time, because again, time does not exist, it is not you came in January and somebody else came in February. From our perspective, all came in at once, and at once all decided this was going to be a part of our reality.
I absolutely see it from your perspective. All is one, there is no time. But you're not seeing it from our perspective, I don't think. In 3D reality, we have physicality. Time exists.
Yes, we understand,
Right.
but we're
So,
trying to show you that all was created at once. And although, yes, you live in a linear time where there is a first, a second, and a third, it would appear to you as though it was the mantids and
okay.
it was the reptilians that brought in your digital currency. And yes, you could blame them, but remember that you were a part of it. But if you are looking for the face to give it to, you might want to give it to them.
Exactly. So you've answered my question. In 3D, it came from the reptiles and the mantids. In 4D and beyond, we all created it.
Yes.
Right. Can you speak on the light and then the shadow of cryptocurrency?
Yes, like I said, it is all polarities. And depending on your polarity, you decide how you would like to utilize it for your time here, your mission, and your lessons. Perhaps you're a negative polarity and you want to utilize it to see the light, or perhaps delve even darker into your shadow. Perhaps bring yourself into more of a balance with neutrality. It just depends on your polarity. So, going into the light and shadow, if you look into the shadow aspect, it is again giving your power away to uncertainty. And although the ego program does not like uncertainty, it loves to live in the past. It takes its understanding of the past, that in the past it was taken care of, in a sense, by those that would rule it, governments, monarchies, perhaps dictatorships. And since this currency is somewhat related to government, although many would say it is not, that it is something independent, a financial system is all part of a controlling system. We might give it the name of government, that a government controls it, but this is merely semantics, as all that seek to control use controlling devices like financial systems, like one's well being, the food system, all of these different types of systems. And so, for a shadow aspect, some may utilize this currency in understanding what it is like to give their power away while facing uncertainty, uncertainty giving them anxiety, perhaps a bit of panic and trepidation, but meaning to go forward in it because in their past, in their ego's past, they understand that these control systems are needed, that I must be controlled, that I believe in my government, I believe in my controllers, I believe in the financial system and the food systems, I believe in all these things. So although I might be quite afraid, I will prove myself. I will move forward in it, and I will do good things. The light in it is in understanding that something as malleable as numbers on a screen is just that. If they're just numbers, and numbers change all the time, numbers are not fixed. Although perhaps part of your mathematics might say that numbers cannot change unless there are other variables in place. Yes, we understand, but mathematics does not exist like this in the fourth dimension and beyond. So, therefore, they understand that these numbers are not as they seem, and they feel that they can walk away from this at any time, or they can change the numbers themselves if they wanted to.
Okay, wow. If I could go back to the shadow for a moment and learn more about the motivations of the reptiles and the mantids, do they wish us to, is the cryptocurrency, is it meant to get us to own nothing, to get us conditioned to believe that money is just numbers on the screen, it doesn't really exist? They want us to own nothing, essentially. Is that correct?
Yes, the best example I can give, looking into this memory, is the emperor's new clothes. You remember this story as a child, where the emperor believes that he has all these beautiful accoutrements on his being, and he walks proudly through the streets, believing that he is wearing fabric laced in gold, that he looks magnificent because he's been told that he is wearing these things, when from the outside everyone notices that he is naked, he is without clothing. And so it is two different realities. In one reality, the king truly believes that he is wearing clothes that are of the finest material, where everyone else sees nothing. And that is the cryptocurrency. That is the digital currency. They tell you what it is, and you decide that either you see it or you don't.
Okay, very good. So are they priming us also for a one world digital currency? Is that the point of crypto, to get us attuned to digital currencies?
Yes, the negative polarity. Sometimes polarities can be considered one-trick ponies. They have something that they default to time and time again, both the light and the dark. And in the dark, the negative polarity, they like to bring all together as one. This may seem positive on the outside, but look at it as it has occurred in your histories. Look at your Native Americans. So many different tribes, so many different dialects and peoples, so many different traditions and ways of being. For them to stay within their tribes, strong as they were, their traditions strong, their intuition strong, it would be very hard to conquer any of them. However, if you were to take all of those tribes away, take away their identity, their familiarity with their history, and bring them into one unified place, one unified way of thinking and being, they would be very fearful to go back to the way things were, because they are no longer a part of a tribe, but part of a group being told what to do.
So they're just trying to consolidate power, and it starts with money.
Yes, this has happened to many cultures, many beings, even animals and insects do this. Plants and trees do this.
But the light is crypto showing those of us who are ready to accept our power that we control the numbers.
Yes.
So when we look at the future of crypto, will success or failure depend on the person's energy who's using it?
Their energy, their lessons to be learned, their mission, and their perception. Either they are wearing clothes or they are not.
My perception is that those on the negative polarity, the lower timeline, the slower vibration, will gravitate towards cryptocurrencies and digital currencies, where the higher polarity, service to others entities, are going to gravitate towards more tangible wealth. Is that an accurate thing to say?
It is a broad generalization, but yes.
So if a person watching this video is drawn to cryptocurrencies and digital currencies of that nature, would you recommend them asking themselves why and doing some healing on that?
Yes, although I cannot speak to every individual who likes to utilize a cryptocurrency or a digital currency. This is up to them and their lessons and their mission and their polarity, of course. But the one thing we might offer is what you had said, that perhaps to look inwards. How do I want to utilize this? How do I utilize this already? How do I see this? How does this make me feel? If I were giving my sovereignty away, how would this aid me in doing so? If this were helping me to see my sovereignty, then how is this helping me to do so?
But there will be some higher vibrational people who use this cryptocurrency to understand how to manipulate the numbers of the matrix itself.
Yes, understanding the numbers in the matrix, its mathematics, is one of the levels. And so some may see numbers in various ways. For some, they will utilize digital currency as a way to understand the matrix itself and their power within it.
The moment I heard of what cryptocurrency was, I was completely, I hate it. I hate it to the core of my being. Can you tell me why?
Because you are being told a fairy tale, you believe. I am not saying it is a fairy tale, but you believe it to be a fairy tale. You do not like being told stories. You want to see things for yourself. So if somebody were to tell you a story, in this case, it is in the form of numbers. There are these numbers on a screen, and this will help you with X, Y, and Z. This is the way that we will do things moving forward. You want to understand why. So you would rather do these things yourself than be told. And much of this digital currency and cryptocurrency is people merely receiving information from people telling them how it is to be used, telling them what it is, where it came from. And you are more investigative. That is all.
I know this is such an ego statement, but those people seem like sheep to me.
It is part of the ego, yes.
Yes, I know.
But they are all on a different path, on different journeys, different aspects of you trying to understand these numbers, trying to understand the matrix. And in this case, they are utilizing cryptocurrency to do so, all these aspects of you.
So you're saying that we're all trying to understand the numbers of the matrix. We all do it in different ways. Some people will do it with crypto. Some people will do it with gold and silver. Some people will remove all possessions from their reality.
Yes.
Whew, fascinating. I know I came to this channeling with polarity, but I do thank you for showing us the neutrality in this cryptocurrency. And I thank you for being here and for speaking with us. And I want to say that I love you and I recognize that we are one. So thank you for being here. Do you have any last message for the people before we go?
Sure. If you love being told a story, the way that you should live your life, remember that this is not right or wrong, but you understand why you want to be told a story. If you loathe being told stories and rather do the discovery yourself, the sleuthing yourself, also ask yourself why. Are you the emperor, the king, or are you the people looking at a naked man walking down the street? But ask yourself why. Why do I choose to see that he is wearing nothing? Or perhaps, why do I choose to see that he is clothed in the most beautiful of accoutrements?
Okay. There we go. Whew, I felt myself getting fired up there.
All right.
It's like if there's a two-world split happening in our reality, maybe not your reality, but in our reality, crypto kind of symbolizes the lower polarity to me. Putting your faith outside of yourself, putting your faith into something that's fake. It's not real. It's not tangible.
Yeah.
And just the whole idea of accepting what someone else tells you is such a foreign idea to me. It's like, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I got to go see for myself.
Yeah. I like to hold things.
Yeah.
To have them in my hands. But, I guess I would just have to ask myself, why is that? Why can't I just have the faith that what's on the screen is truth instead of what's in my hands is
Right.
more truth?
We got our own healing to do.
Yeah.
It's just opposite of what you're talking about.
So, interesting being. I guess we have channeled dragons before. Dragon
course.
energy is just a different type of dragon, but he seemed more chill, cool.
Okay. Well, the dragons all seem pretty neutral to me.
Yeah. But yeah, he just, I don't know. He didn't, I guess he was more, I guess he said he could be positive, he could be negative, he could be neutral, whatever he wanted. But yeah, he seems so balanced.
Right.
Like he was right smack in the middle.
Yeah, no, that was great info. I appreciate him coming and talking about that. Definitely not going to be touching any cryptos in my lifetime, but
Yeah.
gold and silver.
It's not really for me. But, you know, again, that's probably just our journeys. You know, we'll look into why we gravitate more towards the precious metals and, you know, things like that.
And there's
So,
shadow in that too. That's putting our power into something outside of ourselves.
exactly.
Just like the crypto users put their power into the computer screen, we're putting our power into something that comes from the earth. Neither is good if we're trying to leave this cube. So we all have some healing to do.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, all of it's learning. So all of it's going to help us.
Right.
So whether somebody's deciding I want to give up my sovereignty to this thing outside myself, or, you know, I want to understand my sovereignty, it's all just, it's, I mean, I see it all as positive, but of course, yes, there's a lot of negative too.
And there's a lot to talk about here. So we hope you guys will engage in the comments. Don't be shy. Say your opinion. No one's going to get mad at you. Everyone's opinion is valid. Everyone's perspective is valid. So we want to hear all of them.
Discussions, you know, and actually it's when we disagree with each other and we have different viewpoints, that's where like the real learning happens. He wants to be surrounded by everybody. Just we were all like, yeah,
the emperor with his clothes.
Yeah, the emperor's clothes.
Surrounded by yes men.
Like, oh yes, you look great, sir.
Yeah, we don't like that either. We don't like gurus and we don't like yes men.
Yeah. So yeah, tap in with your own intuition. Let us know what you got. If you do work with like Bitcoin or the cryptocurrencies, let us know. If you work with precious metals, if you're like nay to all of that, let us know. Yeah, and keep those suggestions coming too. There's been a lot of good suggestions and questions for future channeling. So, and
we have one-on-one channelings available.
Yes,
with both of us.
Been loving those, and there's a sale in the shop until Yule, both for Desert Cauldron and my shop, and I believe your shop too.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a reading or a crystal, now's the time. I know everyone did Black Friday stuff, but we're doing Yule stuff.
Yes.
So if you want a one-on-one channeling with Tara and I, 22% off.
22% off.
Wow. Okay. Go to her website.
All right. We will catch you guys next Monday. Bye.
Bye.